Good morning, my dear children. Welcome to the online platform of Sri Gokulam Public School, Guruvayur. Children, we were discussing chapter 9, Financial Management. In our last class, we have discussed about the financial planning. I hope you have read the text covering those points. Today, we will discuss about the financial decisions. There are various financial decisions which a finance manager or a team of management they have to take. So we can divide these financial decisions into three main categories, that is investment decisions, financing decisions and dividend decisions. Today's our topic for discussion is related to dividend decisions. Dividend decision. Dividend, as you know, is the share of profit which is distributed among the shareholders. So shareholders are the owners of the company for the shares they are holding in that company, for the number of shares they are holding in their company. So whatever profit the company is earning, from that some part of the profit or share of profit is distributed to the shareholder. That part is known as dividend. Dividend decision relates to how much of the profit earned by the company after paying tax is to be distributed to the shareholders as dividend, and how much of it should be retained in the business. So this dividend decision is related to what? It is made to decide how much of the profit after paying the tax should be distributed to the shareholders and how much of it should be retained in the business. Okay, retained in the business means kept in the business. Okay, so this decision is related to dividend decisions. These are the areas where dividend decisions are made. The decisions regarding dividend should be taken keeping in view the overall objective of maximizing shareholders' wealth. So whenever dividend decision is taken, shareholders' wealth or the objective of maximizing shareholders' wealth should be given more importance. Okay, so these three important points are related to dividend decisions. The first point is related to what is dividend. Second point is related to what is dividend decisions and what is it related to. And the third point is when you are taking a dividend decisions, what is to be kept in mind. The main thing what you have to consider is the objective, that is maximizing shareholders' wealth. Keeping that view in mind, you have to take the dividend decisions. Now there are some factors which affect the dividend decisions. So before a company make a dividend decisions, they have to go through these factors. Okay, so which are those factors? Children, this is a very important topic from your exams point of view because 6 marks question is related from this chapter. Okay, so listen very carefully. So here are some factors which affect the dividend decisions. The first point is amount of earnings. Dividends are paid out of current and past earnings. We know that dividend, that is a share of profit to the shareholders, are distributed out of the current and past year's earning of the company. Therefore, earning is a major determinant of the dividend decisions. So, all the dividend decisions is made on which major determinant? It's the earnings. So, as per the earning of that company only, the dividend decision can be made. Okay. So, the first factor of dividend decision is the amount of earning. How much you are earning, that much dividend or as per that earning, the dividend decision will be made. Second point is stability of earning. Is your earning stable or is it fluctuating every year? So a company having stable earning can declare higher dividend because every year the company is having a earning which is very stable, very constant, so they can declare higher dividend. But if the earning of the company is unstable, we cannot predict what will happen next year. So in such a case, the dividend which is paid out will be a smaller sum. Or we can say unstable earning is likely to pay smaller dividend. So a company which is having stable earning, they will declare a higher dividend, and an unstable earning, smaller dividend will be paid out. Okay. The third point is stability of dividends. Many companies follow a policy of fixed dividend per share. So many of the company, they pay a fixed dividend per share. So that is the routine which they follow. The increase in dividend is made only when earning potential of the company increases. So if the earning capacity, as we saw, stability of earning, so only when the stability of the earning or earning potential of the company increases, then you can give a higher rate or higher, you can increase the dividend. Otherwise, it's better you can have a policy in which you can declare a fixed dividend per share. Now, growth opportunities. Companies having good growth opportunities are likely to pay less dividend and retain more profit to invest in profitable projects. On the other hand, non-growth companies can pay higher dividend. So there are two possibilities. If your company is having a good growth opportunity, then you can keep aside the money of or profit, or retain the money or profit, and invest in some very good profitable project. So the thing is, the profit of the company is retained and are invested in some profitable project instead of declaring the dividend to the shareholders. And on the other hand, if your company is a non-growth company, so in near future there is no chance of growth of that company, then you can pay a higher dividend. So these two possibilities have to be kept in mind. So good growth opportunity, less dividend, and non-growth companies, higher dividend. So these two cases you have to remember. Cash flow position. Payment of dividend involves output of cash. See children, for a company's point of view, payment of dividend means what? There is outflow of cash. Cash is going out of the business or company. A company may be earning profit but may be short on cash. Sometimes in our profit and loss account, we can see that it is a profit. But if we inspect the cash, it may be short of cash. Okay, if the balance sheet or the cash, if we look into that, it will be short, though our company is showing a profit. Availability of enough cash in a company is necessary for distribution of dividend. So you have to keep in mind, the main thing is, it's not about profit, it is about how much you have the cash, so that you can distribute it to the shareholder as dividend. So cash flow position is also important. So that is also prepared by the accountant of the company to know how much cash is there in the business, so that you can distribute it as a dividend to the shareholders. Next factor of dividend decision, next factor which help you to make decision regarding distribution of dividend is shareholders' preference. While declaring dividends, management must keep in mind that the preference of the shareholder in this regard. So there are different categories or kinds of shareholders. So some are equity shareholders, some are preference shareholders. So you have to see the that is what your shareholders want. Okay, if the shareholders in general desire that at least a certain amount is paid as dividend, the company are likely to declare the same. So if the shareholders who are also the owner of the company for the part of share they hold, if they want at least some amount being declared as dividend, then the company should declare it. Okay, so the company is likely to declare the same. There are always some shareholders who depend on a regular income from their investments. So there are shareholders who want a regular income from the cash which they have invested in the company. So dividend is like a regular income for them. Okay, so it depends on the shareholders the decision about dividend distribution. So preference of shareholders is also considered while declaring the dividend. Next is the taxation policy. A dividend distribution tax is levied on the company. So it is a taxable income. Okay, dividend is a taxable income. So tax rate on dividend is higher. Suppose in that particular year the tax is high on the dividend, then the company will generally declare less dividend. And if the company find out that the tax rate in that year is very less, then they can declare a high dividend. Okay, so it depend on the tax policy also. Sometimes the declaration of dividend, whether if tax is high then less dividend, if tax is less then more dividend. Now 8th point is stock market reaction. Generally, investors view an increase in dividend as a good news, and hence market price of the share increases in the stock market. So investors are the group of people who are interested to invest their investment or surplus in some companies. Okay, so if they saw that the dividend declared by that particular company is increasing, then it is a good news for the company, because the market price of the share will increase in the stock market. Okay, because the investors will invest in that particular share. So in opposite is the case when there is a decrease in dividend declared, and so there will be reduction in the market price of the shares. So stock market reaction also is a factor which determine which is taken into consideration while declaring the dividend. The next point is access to capital market. So a large and reputed companies can raise funds easily from the capital market to finance their growth. So large and reputed company, they make use of capital market to raise the finance, and their growth is also possible if they are using this capital market. They depend less on retained earnings, so they can pay higher dividend than smaller companies which have low access to capital market. So the children, the thing is because the large and reputed company, they can use capital market, they have the access to capital market, but the smaller companies, they don't have access to capital market. So in case a large company, if they there is a requirement of finance or fund, they can raise it from the capital market. So in that case, they don't have to go for a retained earning. Hence, the big companies, they can declare a higher dividend. It is not the case with the smaller company. Because they don't have access to capital market, they cannot raise finance from the capital market. Hence, they declare the dividend at a lower rate. Okay, so access to the capital market also make that is also one factor where the big companies and small companies they differ in dividend decisions, because smaller company they don't have access to capital market, and larger company they have access to capital market, and larger company they can raise fund using this capital market, hence they can declare dividend at a higher pay. Okay. Now the 10th point is legal constraints. Certain provision of the Indian Companies Act 2013 place restrictions on payouts as dividend. So in certain companies there are as per the Indian Companies Act 2013, certain restrictions have been laid out as when they are declaring the dividend. Such provisions should be followed as it is, and that is while declaring the dividend, those companies they have to strictly follow those restrictions. And so this is also one factor which have to take into consideration while declaring the dividend. Now contractual constraints. While granting loan to a company, sometimes banks or financial institutions may impose certain restrictions on the payment of dividends in future. The companies are required to ensure that the dividend does not violate the terms of the loan agreement. So, some companies, when they take loan from bank or financial institutions, the bank and those company they go for a contract. In that contract, the bank may have restricted those companies before giving the loan to not to pay the not to make a payment or restrict the payment of dividend in future. Until they pay the loan amount, sometimes the bank may restrict that is impose certain restrictions on the payment of dividend. So the company cannot violate that contract. So as per that contract loan agreement, they have to follow that agreement, and so the decision of dividend will depend on this factor also, that is contractual constraint. That is one factor which will change the decision about the dividend. Okay, so these are the 11 factors which have to be taken into consideration while making a dividend decision. So children, we are about to conclude today's session. Today we saw which all dividend decisions are there. Financial decisions are there, then investment decisions are there, and dividend decisions are there. Today's class was related to dividend decision. We saw the 11 factors which have to be considered while declaring a dividend to the shareholders. So it is a very important question. You have to study it very thoroughly. Read the textbook for that. Okay, only by reading the textbook these things will be clear to you, and you can present very appropriately or very neatly in your answer sheet. So for today this is all. Meet you in the next class with a new decision, financial decision. Till then, goodbye.